Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. How's it going? We're back with another midday market recap, and it's a no trade recap. The market is just really slow right now, apart from BPTH, which once again it's making some moves. It's just been really slow, really dead, and there are a few points to talk about today, especially about pre-market for any of you guys that trade pre-market. But yeah, sadly, no trades we took today. There were just no real clean setups. We'll talk about a couple potential ones that we could have took, and we'll talk about BPTH as well. So quick summary. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get into today's video. So we'll talk about BPTH as it's already here. So BPTH, as you know, last week or so it's been making crazy moves, but pre-market here. And this is one of the scary things about pre-market. BPTH come out that it had an offer in at $25, and as you see, if you were in this stock pre-market, from 41 all the way down to 26, pretty much a $15 drop and that was in a matter of seconds. It dropped $15, 15 points. That's absolutely insane, and this is a legitimate thing. This actually happened. It's not just an error on the chart. I thought it was to start with, and then I found out the news. They come up with a $25 offering, and it just shows you the risk pre-market. Yes, pre-market, sometimes this doesn't always happen, but the thing is with pre-market is two reasons why we don't want to trade it. One, it could be very slow just due to the volume. You see here, yes, stocks, yes, they do come up, but even on here, these are grinding, really hard entries and exits. Yeah, we've got a bit of a pullback there, but the volume's just not always the best. You see here, look, 28,000 was the best, pretty much volume pre-market. Then, the other reason we don't really trade pre-market is companies have news, there's offerings, there's something they can release before the market opens, because it's kind of the best time to release it. And as you see, you then can get these big crazy drops just due to that offering or news that they released. You see here around 9:16 they released the news, 41 all the way down to $26, and it's starting to recover it now. But would you have held this through this drop? I don't think anyone would hold it for a $15 drop. Yeah, you maybe would have held it for the drop and sold into the pot back up to 33, but even now you wouldn't be back up to $41, so really crazy. So yeah, BPTH was once again kind of stealing the show. When when you got this type of stock that's in play, it's really the only one you can make money on right now. Yeah, there's some other ones that if you want to, it depends what type of trader you are. If you want to hold throughout the day, if you want to swing trade, if you want to buy and hold trends for a while, it's not really my style. My style is to get in, make some quick money, get out. I don't want to be sitting here all day just looking at stocks. 1 hour to 2 hours is more than enough for me, and most of the action happens within the first 30 minutes anyway of the market. Definitely the first hour. So BPTH, yeah, there was definitely some moves you could have made. You could have bought this washout here. This was all the way from 33 down to 28, 5 point. You could have bought that washout. If you can nail the bottom, you get a couple points pop, decent money. But it wasn't really that clean today. It here, had made this great move, but then it just started to sell off, and then I actually stopped looking at the market around 10:30, which is around here, and there's just nothing moving. It was dead, and now we see it's coming to some life again, but now it's starting to sell off. So really crazy stock. This is pretty much the only one you could that was in play. But what is working on for these type of stocks is selling the washouts and buying the pops. Yeah, you can definitely buy market. You could buy the 1 minute candle, make a new high, but it seems like the safer entries are these big candles here. Like big candle, big washout, sell into the pop, and then if you wanted to hold or sell half the position and hold the rest for a rise, you could do that as well. Once again, you got here, here you got these sort of bigger candles sell into the pop. Once again, big candle pop, big candle pop, big candle pop, and yeah. And even on this crazy move, it done it, and that's kind of the theme for this stock: buying these dips, selling back into the pops, back into the rips. It's they work quite well for most stocks, but certainly working well for BPTH in general. The only stock that we was really going to trade here was so there was a couple we was keeping an eye on. So you got my watch list here: BPTH, ROGO, LPCN, SEAL, and OPTT. So let's keep an eye on all of them, but you'll just see the theme pretty much for today. So what the one on the top of the gap scanner was ORGO, and you see the theme. Makes this great move out pre-market. We're keeping an eye on it. What happens at the open? It just before the open, it's just fading off. And once again, I didn't really want to buy this type of washout when it's faded off. It had a high of 17, and it just pretty much sold off all its move. Back down to the $11 here at the market open. So I didn't really want to buy this washout, and then throughout the day, it's just making new lows now. So you just see the theme of what the market was like today. LPC, and this was gapping up quite nicely, but it just didn't really get the volume. Once again, you see here gapping up really nice. So yeah, definitely going to keep an eye on it. But then towards the open, it just fading off, and then at the open, just nothing happened from it. SEAL, there was actually entries on SEAL, but I didn't really like the pre-market chart. It wasn't the worst, but there's no real gap up. It's sort of just trending upwards. So we're keeping an eye on it. Wasn't 100% sure on sort of the best entries for it, but once again, the same thing, coming up high, and then before the market opens, it's just selling off. One thing we did get on this, as you see here at the market open, we get these. This would have been this. You could have bought this washout. This first one being very risky, but if you keep an eye on it and you got the second big washout, you could have sold for the pop. But that was even that's very risky, especially in the open. One thing I didn't notice actually now, so I was keeping this. I stopped trading about 10:30. So you see about 10:30, it sort of recovered a little bit, and actually it's back to it actually made new highs, which I didn't even know. So this is really interesting. So SEAL come back into play, but still not the cleanest entry. And once I've traded for an hour and I've not done anything and the market seems slow, even now I'm just going to stop, and that was it. The one stock we was looking to trade was actually OPTT. Once again, this was gapping up pre-market, which is nice. That's what we see. We've got the gap, not much volume, but we'll keep an eye on it. There's some I believe some good news out on OP and TT. The one thing that was scary, so we're keeping an eye on it. I see on my charts that look, it's starting to make this big move. Volume's coming in, which is nice. It makes a big move here from 740 all the way up to 940. So it made a $2 move. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So what then we're looking for was the washout, the pullback. There was only two things here that played in my mind, and that's why I didn't enter. And this is exactly what we're looking for. So hindsight is always 2020. But the two things here on OPMTT was, the first one was the volume. If you look at the volume, it's just declining volume. That's not always a great sign, even though we got this first pop. So that was one thing I was looking for. That made me a bit hesitant on the stock. The second thing, which is the most important, was that even right now, you see the spreads were 706 by 720, 701, 723. The spread's got to about 40-50 cent spread, maybe even bigger, and that's just absolutely crazy. And obviously, if I'm trying to get into a stock quick, I'm buying on the ask, so I'd be in at 720. And even so, if I buy this right now, I'm already down 14 cents. So I have to make more than 14 cents to, straight away, or else I'm in the reds. And yeah, it just seemed it wasn't worth it. It did actually pan out to be that way, but it was just such a high risk trade. And then afterwards, as you see, the same theme from today, it just started to sell off, and maybe it's starting to make a new pop now. But the first hour seemed pretty dead today, and that was the only one I actually saw in real time. Once again, really risky because low volume, decline, big spreads, and when you have big spreads, they're the most risky trades. So sadly, guys, not the most entertaining video. I apologise. I can only comment on what the market's providing for us. I do want to know anything you guys did trade. Really interesting. What did you trade? How did you trade it? Entries and exits. Let me know. Interesting to see. Apart from BPTH. Once again, BPTH was just the obvious one to trade. Starting to see, the good thing about watching it is you're starting to see how it is moving. Once again, if I had a bigger account, I'd be more confident just taking this trade, taking trades in this, and certainly one I will be trading in the future when we get these stocks again. BPTH will die down. The hype will be over soon, but a new stock will come into play and take its place. So hopefully, if the account's built up by then, we'll start to take some positions. I actually was tempted to take I even typed on the level 2 a 25 cent position. I can't remember where it was. I think it was actually yeah, it was around. I think it was on this one here. Yeah, that's it. We got this big pullback here, and I was interested in taking 25 cent, but I just thought no, I'll just leave it. I've been preaching a lot about trading it, so I won't do it. Anyway, short and sweet. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully the market will provide us. Once again, you can't force what the market, you can't get from the market that's something that's not there. You can't trade how you want the market to be. You have to see what the market's like. And recently, apart from this one stock, which is probably taking all the action in the small cap world, the market's been pretty slim pickings, very, very little to work with. Okay, that's today's video. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.